The current project on the LX450 is changing all of the fluids in the differentials. In this video, you'll see me underneath the truck doing the work, and the reason for this is because it's really important for me to gain my knowledge and experience working on the truck, so that way when we are out on trails or adventuring, both Kate and I are troubleshooting the issues and it's not just him. So with that, here we go. We are starting with the front differential. Always remember to remove the fill plug first. You don't want to be in a situation where the differential is drained, but you can't refill it because you started with the drain plug rather than the fill plug. I also suggest wearing rubber latex gloves because the gear oil smells really nasty and is hard to clean from your hands. We have no information of the oil age in any of these, so we are just going to change all three. That way we know the day it was done and it's the same fluid for each one of them and there are no unknowns. Moving along to the rear differential, we're doing this to let the front continue to drain, and really it's the same process back here as it was for the front differential. Make sure you have a decent sized drain pan to catch the fluid and that it's wide enough in case the wind blows around it. We live in Oklahoma, so the wind blowing is an often occurrence. Now we're at the center differential, and here you need to first remove the skid plate, and this is really to have easier access to both the fill and drain plugs. Not only did I need Kate's help holding the plate while loosening the bolts, but apparently Nova needed to supervise to ensure that we were doing a good job. Now we are back at the front, starting the refilling process. This has given it plenty of time for the old fluid to fully drain out, and we have made sure to put the drain plug back in. Also, just be careful not to cross-thread any of the plugs if this is something that you're doing on your vehicle. So now we are putting in the new fluid. We are using 75/90 gear oil for all three. This new bag style of packaging has really made filling the differentials much easier. We are going to skip through some of the fill time just because that gets a little tedious, and we know you guys don't want to see all of that. I know that I don't want to see all of that. The front differential holds 2.8 quarts of oil, and we'll list the specs for the other two sections when we get there. A good rule of thumb is to fill until there is a slight dribble of oil that comes out of the fill plug area. Once you're to that point, you should be good to go. Now we're starting the process for refilling the rear differential, which holds 3.4 quarts of oil. Try to wipe up as much extra gear oil that you can around the plugs to keep any buildup happening in the future. I'm using the breaker bar to tighten the plugs, but be careful not to over tighten during this process. Finally, on to filling the center differential. This one is a bit of a tighter space, and I initially filled it with too much fluid. The center holds about 1.8 quarts, so we let the level drain down a little bit because we didn't want it to be over full. And as mentioned earlier, we use the same fluid in all three to take any guesswork out of future maintenance. All right, that wraps up changing the fluids in the differentials on the LX450. We hope you guys learned something today, or maybe even saw something that you weren't quite expecting. If you have any questions or even tips or tricks for us as we continue to work on this vehicle, please drop them in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next project. Thanks.